Yeah, I know we're good, Sam, because he's Mike Lucas and I'm David Nuno, and this is TexAgs Rewind presented by T-Mobile. They want to remind you to visit T-Mobile.com/AcrossAmerica to learn how you can get value and coverage through T-Mobile. Is this basketball team, the A&M basketball team, a tournament team, Mike Lucas?
They very much can be. Still have work to do, but they are playing right now at a caliber that they would be one of the 68 best teams in America.
All right, if you're watching this, I don't need to say if you're watching this, you are watching this. So since you're watching this, comment below, do you think the Aggies are going to make the NCAA tournament? They still got some work to do, as Mike said. We talked about that on the show today. That was a big part of the Go Hour with Olin Buchanan. They've won 4 in a row. Pumped to see that. Aggie baseball struggling with the bullpen. Coach Schloss was on. He was very poignant, and I just like how unfiltered he is. We had Around Aggieland. That was a good time. Sam Kamen did that one with us. And Buzz Williams. The Ags are better. They talked about it. He was very upfront about everything, but he's going to stay focused to one game at a time. It's TexAgs Rewind. The team that I saw play maybe from the 14th minute left in the second half to about maybe 3 minutes left seemed like the team we saw earlier. Not just because they squandered the lead. It's how they squandered the lead. They became a one-on-one basketball team.
Yeah, I could see that. There were times, they got to the foul line and either missed front end on 1-on-1 or only made 1 of 2. And so, that allowed Mississippi State to chip away.
Yep.
It was funny at one point when they were still up double figures, Logan looked at me, and I think they were in a timeout, and he said, Ben Howland, the Mississippi State coach, is saying, let's try to get it under 10 or get it to 10 at the next timeout. And they did. And he said, now he's saying, let's try to get it to 5 at the next timeout. Well, it was 6 at the next timeout, but they were shooting,
right,
coming back in, and they got it to 4. And and Logan said that if they do that, he's telling them they got a chance to win. And Logan called it. I guess it's all those years of playing basketball.
He knows a thing or two. It was, but look, you got to get credit for both halves, right? So they built a nice lead and they were able to make the big plays. I thought the Aggies benefited from the right call on Henry Coleman.
Well, absolutely. But, they had to be holding their breath a little bit. So if you don't know, I got to admit, right at this point, I can't remember if he got an offensive rebound or as a pass, but Henry Coleman, late in the shot clock, like with less than a second to go, has the ball on the baseline. He's doing a double pump to go up and try to score. A&M has a 3-point lead. The shot clock, there's a foul, but the shot clock buzzer goes off. So the officials are looking at the replay to see if he was fouled before the shot clock buzzer went off. And there was some doubt. And, if they –
it was close. To be fair, it was very close.
If he doesn't get it, fortunately, he was fouled, and then he goes and hits 2 free throws to give A&M a 5-point lead with 27 seconds to go. But if it was late and it had been a turnover, Mississippi State, who has all this momentum, is coming down with the ball with a chance to tie. Now, the good thing is Mississippi State doesn't shoot three-pointers very well, but still, that's how precarious it got. But then when Henry Coleman made those 2 free throws, you felt very confident that A&M was going to close it out.
Yesterday, Schloss, you mentioned getting more out of some of the older faces there. But what about some of the younger faces like Chris Cortez, who's looked very nice out there?
He's been great. He's been awesome. But my thought process he threw 33 pitches maybe the night before is we're still in the first week of March, and I don't want to ride that horse too much. There's going to be, we get in conference play, then maybe you start up to doing that. But, on a pitching staff that right now, you probably have 3 to 4 guys you feel somewhat confident in running out of that bullpen. The worst thing we could have is one of those 3 or 4 guys go down, right? So trying to wait for that moment to where, we got to keep those guys healthy, if you understand what I'm saying. So, and if we're gonna keep going to the same guys, then the guys like Hogan who need to develop are never going to get to develop. So, last night was that opportunity, and I still believe in Robert, and but Chris has been great. He's a premium strike thrower. His breaking ball he has been a work in progress, but it came along the other night. He threw a couple good ones. He punched out a good left-handed hitter from Iowa, right on left, so that's a really good sign. So, when you wake up the next morning, there are some good things from the weekend, but at the end of the day, I could care less how it looks. I just want to win the game. And, Friday night, we just played awful in every sense. So we haven't done that much all season. Every other game has been super competitive. Last night was, when you lose them late, I'm not sure. You'll have to check the stats, but one of my coaches told me, I think we've given up 43 runs on the season, and 27 of them are in the last 3 innings. So we got to clean that up. If we clean that up, and maybe get Warner back, score a few more runs, then there's a story to this season, and still 80% left. So I woke up this morning thinking that it's going to get better, and that's my job. That's on my shoulders to make it better.
To get us started, spring football starts today. First day of spring practice. We've got 11 new enrollees of the 28 signees on the practice field for their first action. We'll get to see them. 4 of those 5 stars, 7 of those top 100 players, highlighted by those QB group, Connor Wegman, Max Johnson, as well as the secondary. You got five guys: Bryce Anderson, Jared Kerr, Denver Harris, Bobby Taylor, and more. So we'll be looking out to see what they can do and it's an exciting time for spring football. Men's basketball got another dub versus Mississippi State, 67-64. 4th straight win, 5 out of the last 6. They get to the 20-win benchmark and 99 conference play. Quentin Jackson with a team-high 18 points, 13 straight games in double figures with double figures, 4 other Aggies in double figures. Next stop, SEC tournament. It's going to be a big weekend in Tampa.
Thursday, 11 a.m., right?
Yes, Thursday, 11 a.m. on the SEC Network. They'll get the 9th-seeded Florida Gators. Last time they played, it was a close nail-biter, 55-56 win here in College Station. So
that's the game that Olin reminded us the Aggies went 16 of 16 from the
free throw line.
I wish it was the 3-point line.
Hey.
That would be a blowout. But
either way, it's still a good weekend.
Yes, sir.
On the diamond, rough weekend for baseball, baseball and softball. 1 and 2 in the Frisco Classic for baseball. They were able to get 1 win versus Iowa. 5 runs, 6th inning helped them, but pitching against Wichita State couldn't hang on to that 4-0 lead, and then 11-0 deficit put them in a big hole versus Washington State. But all Frisco team was Troy Clonch, Cole Kaler, and Jack Moss. They'll take on Tarleton against Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. on the SEC Network before getting Santa Clara. Softball, 2 and 3 in the Judy Garman, 2 wins over Loyola Marymount and Utah. Long ball was the big thing of the weekend. Morgan Smith with a 2-run home run versus LMU, 5 home runs versus Utah. Rylan Wiggins had 2, as well as Trinity Cannon, Haley Smith, and Macy Allen, all adding home runs. They'll take on Texas State 6 p.m. on the SEC Network Plus before starting SEC play on the road at Auburn. Men's tennis swept their Friday doubleheader versus UIW and Arkansas, got their opening match win to start SEC play. They dominated singles play, winning the first 5 of 6 first sets, with 4 of those resulting in straight set victories. They'll continue their 10-match homestand with a doubleheader Wednesday against UTA at 11 a.m. and against number 13 Texas Longhorns at 6 p.m. And then the 8th-ranked women's tennis team defeated the number 13 Florida Gators 5-2. They're off to their best start in program history, going 16-1 and 2-0 to start SEC play. Senior Casey Goldsmith clinched their win versus the Gators in her singles match. She also won their doubles match with Tatiana Makarova. And their next match will be on the road versus Mississippi State Friday, March 11th at 4 p.m. To wrap it up, Equestrian beat number 7 SMU 11-7. Caitlin Lovingfoss and Kessie Lewers earned MOPs in reining and fences. Lures also got her first career point. So big congrats. They'll have their senior night against Oklahoma State this Saturday, as well as getting Bridgewater College and jumping seat only on Friday. And then women's swimming and diving will have their zone meets starting here today, actually. Coverage starts at 11 a.m. Monday's got the women's 1 meter, men's 3 meter. Tuesday, women's 3 meter, men's 1 meter. And Wednesday, they will have both the men's and women's platforms. So good luck to all those divers in Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, so I know that you guys do a great job of blocking out the noise. I know you're not paying attention, but when things were tough for you guys, did you see this kind of turnaround when you were losing the 8 straight, and just how you guys have played your best ball here towards the end of the year?
Yeah, I don't know that you could predict any of it, to be honest. If you were to look at it as a whole, in a 9-week span, I don't think anybody would have thought that we would have won the first 4, with 2 of them being on the road. I don't think anybody would have thought that we would have lost 8 in a row. And I don't think that anybody would have thought that we would have won 5 out of our last 6 and our last 4 in a row with 2 of those 4 on the road. And so, in the same way that you start 4-0 and you're really excited, and you lose 8 in a row and you're incredibly upset, and then to close in the way that we started, I don't think any of it fairly predictable. To answer your question, I don't think that, I think it's all coaches. I think it's all programs. I'm not saying we're different. I think when you're in the midst of playing 2 games a week, and for the most part, one of them's always going to be on the road, 1 day a week off, you get in such a rhythm and such a routine that the result, yes, you're trying for the result, but you're so absorbed in the process that if you stay focused on the result, whether it was good or bad, all it does is interrupt the process that needs to be for the next game, which begins, as soon as the last game is over. And so I don't think that like that, maybe that's immature on my part, but within our program, we for sure don't operate like that. But I think a portion of that is because I don't think like that. It's like, hey, we got to figure out what's next. There's only 4 signs in our whole facility, and that's one of them. What's next? And I just think that that's the way life is, and I think that's the way basketball is.
All right, Mike, we're closing it up. Let's tell the people what they got to do.
3 things. You got to like, subscribe, comment with a 5-star review.
There you go.
All in one.
If you can do that, Mike Lucas will cook you Thanksgiving dinner next year.
Done.
If you remember this.
Done. In 2023. Next, not this coming Thanksgiving, but 2 Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So actually, just make it 2024 and make it an even number.
I agree.
All right, we'll keep it then. Thanks for watching, guys.